So I'm humbled to be presenting our second honoree for the evening, General Keith Alexander, who will be inducted as our 2016 ICIT Pioneer. Now, a pioneer is defined as either a person who is among those who first enters or settles a region, thus opening it for occupation and development by others, or as one who is first among or among the earliest in any field of inquiry, enterprise, or progress. Now, given those definitions, it should come as no surprise that this evening we're honoring an individual whose service to our nation spans over 40 years, with most of that time focused on technology and cybersecurity. With MS degrees in systems technology, physics, national security strategy, and business administration, General Alexander's career of service started at West Point Academy and culminated in appointments to some of the most influential and powerful national security positions in the nation, including as the 16th Director of the National Security Agency and the Chief of Central Security Service from 2005 to 2014. Now, already viewed as an expert in cyber-related issues, General Alexander's appointment as the first commander of the U.S. Cyber Command in 2010 solidified his place not only in history, but also as a global cybersecurity expert. Now, today, as CEO and president of IronNet Cybersecurity, he's applying his expertise to protect our critical infrastructure sectors of our nation and its allies, while also supporting the U.S. government through a number of different initiatives. Now, with cybersecurity still in its relative stage of infancy, it's fitting that the 2016 ICIT Pioneer honors a man who has not only dedicated his life to national security, but has been a pace-setter and a true leader in the field that he helped partially define. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Institute for Critical Infrastructure Technology, please help me in welcoming our 2016 ICIT Pioneer, Mr. Keith Alexander. Oh, we got to do this. We're doing our photos later.
Yeah,
there you go, sir.
James, good job. You did great. Great. Yeah, I know you were nervous. You really did that joke good. Please, about the wife, I was serious about that. Parham and James, you guys have done an incredible job here at ICIT. So you ought to be really proud of your accomplishments and what you're doing to establish a cybersecurity think tank, the work that you've done in bringing everybody together, so really great. Tony, congratulations on that award. It's an honor and privilege to be up here with you, although you're not up here right now, I understand that, but to receive this award with you. Thanks for all you did. You know, I was thinking Walt Disney, you were there, you know, with Bran Farron, probably some of all these folks, that I knew. And Phyllis, what a great time we had on the ESF. You know, it kind of highlights what our nation's going through right now. For those of you who haven't left for Canada yet, you know, it was kind of interesting. You know, when they did the votes on these, Parham called up and said, "What happens if you don't get this award?" I said, "I'll contest it." But now that I have it, I think it's really pretty good. It's pretty good. Actually, Phyllis brought it out, and I'll walk down that road, and that is, you know, we have a great country. We have great people. We have some issues, and you can tell by the election that there are systemic issues that have to be solved, but it can only be solved if we come together as a country. And in cyber, it's the same thing. We have tremendous issues in cyber. Government can't do it without industry, and industry can't do it without government. And so we have to find a way to work together to solve these problems. Events like this that bring industry players, so thanks, Rob, for what you and what Cylance and Centrify and others have done to help bring this together, with government players, is the only way we're going to solve that problem. It was the heart of what we, Phyllis and I and a number of others, did to solve problems for our country quietly, by having government and industry come together. And, you know, as you look at what's going on with the election, you know, I know all of you, similar to my wife and I, watching what was going on in the election, what you see is we do have some problems in the country. And if you think about that, as you sit there and think about it, you think, and our most critical vulnerabilities lie in this space, in cyber. You know, when you think about what we're going through what could happen to our nation, what may happen, and what will happen at some point. We will be challenged in this space. And we can only defend it if we work together. So I'll tell you, it was the greatest honor and privilege that I had to serve in the military for 40 years with those great men and women, and at NSA for almost 9 years. My father-in-law used to joke, the reason you've been in the military so long, you can't get a job on the outside. Get off the public dole. But the reality was, great men and women doing their best that would give their all for our country. And, you know, it was interesting during all the Snowden events, and we probably shouldn't bring that up here, to recognize that over 22 people at NSA or working with NSA had given their life in Afghanistan and Iraq. And all the people that served selflessly to help our nation. And Rob and I were talking about Marcus and one of the wounded warriors. And this is an area we can all work together. So thank you for this award. It's an honor and privilege. And I'll tell you, it was equally an honor and privilege to serve our country with all those great men and women, both military and civilian. And for all of you who are serving today, Phyllis, thanks for coming out of industry. I know they're paying you a lot more in government. You probably don't take a paycheck compared to what you did, but thanks for doing that. Thanks for all of you who are serving our government. Tony, for what you're doing, because we need great talent. And I know this next administration is going to be reaching out and needs great talent. So thanks. Thanks to all of you. Thanks for all of you that are serving. Thank you, Param and James, for this award. Thanks, folks.